So we're looking at 2026, the year that we got Project Hail Mary, and I think to myself, wow, what could have been Solo a Star Wars story? The latest movie in this series that we'll be talking about is Solo, a Star Wars story. It's the origin story, I guess, of Han Solo and how he became Han Solo, even though he became Han Solo right from the top. Yeah, I have very conflicting things to say about this movie. I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler. This is my least favorite Star Wars movie. And part of that is because this movie did not need to be a movie. This movie infamously is popular for the departure of Phil Lord and Chris Miller midway through production. Kathleen Kennedy didn't like their idea, so they got kicked out or they quit. I don't remember what happened, but they were gone. And then Ron Howard took over midway through the movie and basically just flickered the lights from time to time, and they got all dark and stuff. And yeah, this movie was not good, and it doesn't help that we all knew this going into it because yeah, up to this point, The Last Jedi disappointed, so bringing in Solo was just like, why? And then to top it off, Harrison Ford is just such an iconic Han Solo. Why would they recast him? And just showing you a young Han Solo. This could have worked as a TV series. Imagine if they just made a show called Solo Adventures and then just made a whole series of it. And yeah, right off the bat, Alden Ehrenreich did a solid job as Han Solo. Like, you buy him as a young Han Solo, and Alden Ehrenreich. The only thing I know him for is Hail Caesar, and I haven't seen him in any other thing. Maybe I have. He just doesn't stand out, unfortunately. To everybody, the standout was Lando Calrissian, played by Childish Gambino or Donald Glover. He did a phenomenal job here, and I did enjoy Donald Glover's performance here. And people always said like, "Oh, this should have been the Lando movie. It shouldn't have been the Han Solo movie." And I'm like, either way, we were gonna find a way to complain. But what is this movie mainly about? So first of all, this movie takes place sometime after Revenge of the Sith. Star Wars really likes to do projects in between that era. Um, but basically, you get to see a little bit of how the Empire taking over the world or taking over the galaxy at this point. Um, look like, and Han Solo's constantly running away and stuff like that. But it was very stupid how he got the name. He's just like, "Oh, what's your name?" "I'm Han." "Han what? Where are you from?" "I got nobody." And then they just give him the name Han Solo. Why can't they just call him Han Solo from the top? Like, I didn't need to know how he got the name. That was the first red flag, and then it just kept going from there. He eventually gets trapped by a Wookiee, who we later know it's Chewbacca. Apparently, Han speaks Wookiee this whole time, and he's on this quest where he's trying to find the love of his life, Kira, played by Emilia Clarke. Han Solo hangs out with this group of misfits led by Woody Harrelson's character, Tobias Beckett, and his girlfriend, Val Beckett, who is played by Tadwi Newton. And then we also have Jon Favreau voicing Rio, who was a cool character. I liked what they, as of recording, I already saw The Mandalorian and Grogu. Martin Scorsese, I thought, did a better job at playing this type of creature. But Woody Harrelson does give Han Solo his infamous gun. But in this movie, they find Kira right away. And they basically took away a lot of your hype because I thought this was going to be like an adventure of them going after this girl. And then at the end, they find her within like maybe like 30 minutes into the movie. So I'm like, what the hell is the rest of this movie gonna be? Instead, we get to learn more about like how Han Solo got the Millennium Falcon, how he stole it from Lando, how we got the infamous shoot first. You can tell there was some stuff that Phil Lord and Chris Miller were working on in this movie just based on their comedy. I know their work. They've done some of my favorite stuff. The Jump Street films, the Lego movie, and most recently Project Hail Mary. Um, so I am aware of their work. And Ron Howard, all I really knew him for was Happy Days and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm aware that he did A Beautiful Mind and The Da Vinci Code, but you really tell me that that's the guy that they chose to substitute, because Han Solo is supposed to be fun, adventurous. Instead, he's just bland and boring. At least this story, the actors didn't really do a bad job. They did a pretty solid performance, but it really is just like it could have been a good TV series of just following a young Han Solo having all these crazy adventures and have a good time. Instead, they just cram in everything, and apparently Darth Maul, who at this point we got sick of because they have given this guy everything. Darth Maul apparently came back, and now he's gonna be the main villain to a series that never got concluded. It was just very disappointing, and Kira, just her writing was terrible. One time she's good, one time she's bad. Woody Harrelson eventually turns on Han. It's just I don't I don't know. It's just so much stuff, and it for the most part was just really boring. And it sucks because I really did like the actors involved in this film. Even the robot who apparently is having a relationship with Lando, she was cool and all, but they got rid of her immediately, and I was very disappointed. They kill her off. Some people say she was annoying. Some people like me say she kept the movie entertaining, at least for the little that she was there. Um, but yeah, there wasn't really a full conclusion. It was just Han Solo continue on with his adventure. I'm just like, dude, like there wasn't like a proper story to make this a movie, and it really showed because this movie bombed at the box office. It still made the top 10 of that summer, but for a Star Wars movie to bomb like this, the only other thing I can think of was a Clone Wars cartoon that was bad as far as box office numbers goes, but I did not like this idea of doing spin-offs for Star Wars. That's not what Star Wars is about. If you were going to do spin-offs, do TV shows. You know, there's some good ones. The Mandalorian, Andor. Yeah. Not counting cartoons. Hell, imagine if they did an animated Han Solo series, like Solo Adventures, like young Han Solo before he met Luke and all these guys. Like it would have been kind of cool. And then like a guy who doesn't believe the Force. We didn't even talk about him not believing in the Force. And if he was supposed to fight off Darth Maul, how does he not believe in the Force? So it's just all these stupidity going into it. I don't like this movie that much. I am really disappointed with what we were given. But to be honest, I did not want this movie to begin with. Um, Phil Lord and Chris Miller basically showed me that if they left, I leave, and that is why I'm giving this movie a D plus. The plus is mainly for the actors; they did a great job, and I really did enjoy um Childish Gambino's performance as Lando Calrissian. But yeah, that was my take on this movie. We're gonna move on to positives yet again with three movies that I'll be reviewing, or episodes you can call them. But you guys saw this coming when I reviewed Robot Chicken Star Wars. We're gonna be talking about the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy. I have been anticipating this because this is what introduced me to Star Wars, believe it or not. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with that review.